The Pala Pala Farmgate scandal, which erupted in mid-2022, focused on allegations against South African President Cyril Ramaphosa involving concealed foreign currency at his Pala Pala game farm in Bela Bela. This case, dubbed Pala Pala Farmgate, became one of the most controversial political issues in South Africa during Ramaphosa's presidency. Central to the scandal was the claim that a significant sum of money, reportedly $580,000, was stolen during a break-in at the Pala Pala farm in 2020. The money was allegedly hidden in furniture and went unreported to the South African Revenue Service, raising concerns about its legality and the president's involvement in any wrongdoing. The story first broke widely in the South African media, with the Sunday Independent running a headline in December 2022 that boldly claimed, "Cyril Ramaphosa broke the law, Pala Pala Farmgate report." The piece, which drew attention to the implications of the scandal, raised questions about Ramaphosa's handling of both the money and the aftermath of the robbery. Shortly after the revelations surfaced, a three-member panel, chaired by retired Chief Justice Sandile Mthombo, was appointed to investigate the allegations. This panel, known as the Independent Section 89 Panel, was created under constitutional procedures to determine whether Ramaphosa had breached the Constitution or violated his oath of office. The investigation focused on several key areas, including whether the president had acted illegally in any way connected to the foreign currency or the handling of the break-in. In its findings, the panel concluded that there was prima facie evidence against Ramaphosa on four major counts, including violations of Section 96(2)(a) of the Constitution and Section 34(1) of the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, PRECA. Specifically, the report found that Ramaphosa might have acted in a manner inconsistent with his duties as president by failing to report the stolen foreign currency, exposing himself to potential conflicts of interest between his official responsibilities and private business activities at Pala Pala. The report also highlighted that these actions could constitute serious misconduct. The findings were significant, as they implied that Ramaphosa had violated his constitutional responsibilities and raised concerns about his ethical behavior. Despite the weight of these conclusions, Ramaphosa's political party, the African National Congress, leveraged its parliamentary majority to block further action. In December 2022, ANC members in Parliament voted against the adoption of the Mthombo panel's report, effectively shielding Ramaphosa from immediate legislative accountability. This move by the ANC sparked widespread criticism, with many questioning the integrity of South Africa's democratic institutions and the principle that no one, not even the president, should be above the law. As the legal and political maneuvering continued into 2023, more state institutions issued their own rulings on the matter. The South African Revenue Service, responsible for handling tax and foreign currency declarations, conducted an investigation but failed to find any evidence that the $580,000 had been properly declared. This further cast doubt on the legitimacy of the funds, but SARS did not pursue any direct action against the president. Similarly, the Public Protector of South Africa cleared Ramaphosa of any wrongdoing, concluding that there was no conflict of interest between his role as president and his personal business at Pala Pala. The Public Protector also ruled that Ramaphosa had not breached the Executive Code of Ethics, despite earlier claims to the contrary. The South African Reserve Bank also became embroiled in the controversy, tasked with investigating whether the funds had entered the country legally and whether any foreign exchange regulations had been violated. Their report, however, did not delve deeply into the origins of the money, instead shifting the responsibility to SARS, effectively sidestepping accountability. This string of institutional decisions raised concerns about the level of protection afforded to the president and the integrity of the investigations. The National Prosecuting Authority, which was responsible for deciding whether to pursue criminal charges based on the evidence provided by former State Security Agency Director General Arthur Fraser, ultimately announced in October 2023 that there was insufficient evidence to prosecute Ramaphosa for money laundering or corruption. The NPA's decision cited a lack of reasonable prospect for a successful prosecution, effectively clearing Ramaphosa of criminal charges related to the scandal. This final decision marked the culmination of the Farmgate saga in legal terms but left lingering questions about the rule of law in South Africa. Throughout the scandal, critics have pointed to the coordinated efforts of multiple state entities in clearing Ramaphosa of serious charges. The various rulings and reports, each seeming to absolve the president of any accountability, led many to question whether there had been an intentional effort to protect him from prosecution and political consequences. Some viewed these actions as part of a broader conspiracy to shield Ramaphosa, undermining public confidence in South Africa's institutions. Despite his legal clearance, Ramaphosa continues to face political opposition over the scandal. Some opposition parties, including the Economic Freedom Fighters, have called for further investigations and accountability. Private prosecutions have been suggested as a potential next step, but these remain speculative. The Democratic Alliance, traditionally a strong opponent of the ANC, has expressed concerns about the NPA's decision and indicated that it would press the issue in Parliament. However, the DA's position has been somewhat inconsistent, as its leader Helen Zille has also suggested that they would defend Ramaphosa in certain contexts, leading some to question the opposition party's commitment to holding the president accountable. The Phala Phala scandal has exposed deep divisions within South Africa's political landscape and raised important questions about the country's governance. While Ramaphosa may have escaped criminal charges, the scandal has left a cloud over his presidency and the broader political system. The actions of Parliament, the NPA, SARS, the Public Protector, and the Reserve Bank have all been scrutinized, with many arguing that these institutions failed to uphold the principles of transparency, accountability, and equality under the law. The entire ordeal has prompted South Africans to ask hard questions about the future of their democracy. Critics argue that the repeated failures to hold Ramaphosa accountable reflect a larger problem within the ANC and the country's political elite, where political loyalty and connections can often supersede the rule of law. Whether or not this scandal has a lasting impact on Ramaphosa's presidency or South Africa's political system remains to be seen, but the Farmgate affair will likely remain a reference point for debates about corruption and governance in the country for years to come. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates.